Good morning and welcome to day 13 of Vlogmas. I nearly said 12. It's day 12 for me. It's the 12th of December. But it's day 13 of Vlogmas. Tom has gone to get the food shopping and he's just popped in as well to pick up a few extra bits and pieces and see if we can find a couple of presents. We are struggling for presents for Jasper this year. Arthur, easy peasy, all sorted. Jasper proving a little bit more of a challenge, so we still haven't quite worked out what we're going to get him. But Tom is on the case today, and I'm hoping that now Arthur's going back to school, I might be able to get a little bit of Christmas shopping done next week. Fingers crossed. What was I going to say? Still not 100% sure what we're doing today. The boys are currently playing upstairs in their bedroom really, really nicely, so the house is blissfully quiet, which makes a change. It's a bit of a grey, dreary day. We were hoping to head down to the beach, to head down right into the sort of town of Rotty Ferry. Tom's just sent me a message about Christmas jumpers. I need to check it. Be right back. Tom has spotted a Minecraft Christmas jumper. Might be coming back for Arthur. We were thinking this afternoon of heading down. Did you hear that? I don't know what they're playing up there. We were thinking this afternoon of heading down into Rotty Ferry itself, which is kind of the little offshoot of Dundee that we live in. And it's got its own little high street, and the beach, well, one end of the beach is down there, and there's a playground and stuff. I really don't know whether you can hear that banging. But it is meant to be raining all day, so we're just going to have to see what the weather's like. The plan was to go down, let the boys play on the playground for a little bit, go and have a little wander on the beach, and then walk into the high street just to see the lights. And there's a department store, kind of a department store. It's not big, but it's like a local department store, Gillies, and they have an amazing Christmas window every year. They always make a massive effort with their Christmas window. So we were thinking of popping down and going and seeing the Christmas window, but we'll have to see what the weather's like. We will do that at some point during Vlogmas, so I will share the Christmas window with you. It's really hot. I've got a bit of a headache this morning, so I'm drinking green tea because I don't know why. I just feel like that's healthier and it might help. Probably won't. And I was going to open advent calendars while I've got 5 minutes of peace. So we've got the Henny Penny Makes one. Oh, I've ripped the bag again. I'm trying to keep the bags because I'm using them so that I can get them in the right order. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. I've got good lighting today too. So this is Open Sesame from Aladdin. The story is often mixed with elements of the Arabian Nights stories, in particular Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. And then we've got a swap package. Can't get into it. I've got a bit of dairy milk chocolate and a very, very pretty black and white speckled little mini, which will go into my heart and mitts. Now Tom is asking about sizes. Right, 7 to 8 or 8 to 9, he says. 7 to 8 for a jumper. Spectrum fibres. Ooh. Very pretty. I'm really looking forward to putting these together after Christmas and turning them into the shawl. Right. And then I was going to talk quickly about the other advent calendar that I mentioned, our wax melt advent calendar from a company called Inca Moon, who used to be Flamingo Wax Co. I've talked about them before. And I haven't been sharing opening these because it's very much one of those things that, you know, we need smell-o-vision, don't we, to be able to share them. But it's been really fun. Each day you just get a little wax melt. Some of them are shaped like stars and some of them are shaped like her traditional little flamingos. And they're all different scents. So this one is hot chocolate. This one is sugar plum fairy. And I've got another little flamingo one. This one is Be Merry. And it's been really fun. We're a few days behind because Tom has got a fir scented candle as well, which he wanted to have on throughout December. So we can't really have the fir scented candle and the wax melts going at the same time. It's too much. So we've been spreading it out a little bit. But I haven't opened today's actually. Let's open today's. Day 12. It's a tricky one to get into. Here we go. Day 12. Can't get it out. Can't get it out. Should not have done this on camera. Ah, there we go. We have got a little flamingo, a little green flamingo, and this one is called Christmas Elf Treats. Oh, it smells really lovely, really sweet, and oh, it's a bit of a mix. It's hard to describe. Sweet and fruity, but with a little bit of a kind of cakey base. I don't know. Right, I am going to enjoy a bit of peace and quiet before Tom comes home and before the kids get bored of whatever they're doing upstairs. And we will see you a little bit later on. I'm sure we will get up to something exciting that we can share with you.
Come on in, come on up, come on over for the merriest time of year. Come on up, come on in, get together for a good time, smile my dear. Come on in, come on up, come on over, we'll be dancing round the tree. So let us have a swinging Christmas, just like 1, 2, 3. We know the time is short, we blink and then it's gone. So we better make the most of what we've got. So take your neighbor by the hand and join the dance parade before the clock strikes and it's all too late. Come on over, it's the friendliest time of year. Come on up, come on in, nothing better than to give the gift of cheer. So come on in, come on up, come on over, we'll be singing all these songs. So let us have a swinging Christmas, just like 1, 2, 3.
Well, we made it out of the house. We've come down, as I said we would earlier, into the ferry for the kids to have a little bit of a play, and then we're going to go and see the Christmas lights. I have just come for a little walk to the end of the harbour kind of thing. So I'll flip you around and show you the views. So this here is Brutty Castle. I don't really know the history, so I can't really go into that, I'm afraid. But if you're really interested, a quick Google will get you some of the history, I'm sure. It's just on the end of the harbour. So we're right by the water. As you can see, it's a bit grey. It's about 3:30, I think, just coming up to 3:30, so it won't be long until it's dark. You can see down over there into Dundee itself, which you can't actually really see today because it's a bit misty. And then back round this way. And then that is what's known as the ferry, or Brutty Ferry. We'll be heading in couple of roads back is the high street, and then here is the harbour, and you can just see the slide in the background there, and the boys are in the playground with Tom. In fact, that is Tom. I don't know if you can see him. If I can zoom in. Oh, that's the wrong way. That figure leaning on a thing or by that house is Tom. And then we're back round to the castle again. Right, I better go join them, let them have their play.
The wonders of life got the prettiest side for everyone to enjoy. Standing up close by the Christmas tree, glimmering light, I am right where I wanna be. I will be home for a couple of days, wander around with you. You and me in the cold, thought it'd never be true. Wherever I go, I got you. Oh, I have stopped running, there is no way trying. You better loosen your belt. Drinking hot wine by the fire, don't care of anything else. It's Christmas, and some kind of love, my friend. I pray it will never end. Do you like to be here too? It's Christmas, and outside snow's glistening. It's just you and me tonight. I'll spend all this Christmas with you. Oh, it's such a charm, got you up in my arm. There's nobody at the door. You said I wish this will never be over. Darling, it's time for your present, come over here. Now it is time to get out in the snow, lighting a light with you.
Let's talk about mince pies, shall we? I used it as the keyword for yesterday's giveaway, and reading the comments has been quite amusing because there's obviously it's a very British thing, a mince pie, I think, and although a lot of people from other places kind of have an idea of what it is, there's also some people who understandably get it quite confused with like a meat pie. So a mince pie, like you will have seen Tom making earlier, hopefully, if I've put the footage in okay. A mince pie, I've got one right here, is a little pie filled with kind of like a sweet preserve kind of thing. So it's filled with mincemeat, but mincemeat doesn't involve any meat. Historically, it was back in kind of the, I've got a little thing down here telling you this information, back in kind of the 16th century, it did used to be like meat, minced beef and stuff like that. And then it was kind of around the, where did it say? Around the turn of the 17th century, did it say? It started adding sweetness in, but it was still meat and sweet things. And then it wasn't until the beginning of the 20th century that the meat was kind of removed completely. Although then it used to be suet, and some people still add suet to their mince pies now, to their mincemeat. Suet is like, it's kind of, it's a type of fat. It's a, is it a hydrogenated fat? I'm not sure. It's an animal fat basically, kind of like lard, but slightly different. We don't use suet in our mincemeat. Tom made the mincemeat, that's what I'm trying to say. Tom made the mincemeat for our mince pies. But this is a plum and apple mincemeat. It's not honey, that's what it says on the jar. There's mincemeat in here. And our mincemeat contained plums, apples, currants and sultanas and that kind of thing, sugar, cloves, ginger and nutmeg, walnuts and a bit of brandy. And it's really, really, really yummy. We actually got the apples and the plums from our trees in the garden, which was quite nice. And basically, a mince pie is short crust pastry with your mincemeat filling, like this type of mincemeat filling, and a lid on and baked in the oven. Yeah, that's a mince pie. Look, you can see Tom in the window. He's checking to make sure that I'm giving the correct information about mince pies.
Yes, all correct.
I should just get him to do it himself, shouldn't I, really? He's the mince pie expert. He is the baking expert. But yeah, the version we made is completely vegetarian. We haven't got anything in there. We don't use suet or any actual meat of any kind. And I think most mince pies nowadays don't have suet and things like that in them. But there you go. That is a mince pie. And now I am going to tuck into one. We have just spent a lovely evening having a virtual games night with some fantastic friends. But we just realised before heading up to bed that we haven't done the...
Joke of the day!
What do you get if you eat Christmas decorations?
I don't know. What do you get if you eat Christmas decorations?
You get tinselitis.